Hi, Terry.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And Haiti is joining us too. Hi, Haiti. How are you doing? Great to see you guys.
Indeed. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers. Happy Memorial.
Should be an island cocktail.
Oh, that would have been a good idea had I thought of, if we would have thought of it before, we could have said, hey, everybody can bring their glass of wine or a cocktail and we could do a cheers to Memorial Day. Hi, David.
Hi, Lillian.
Hey.
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Terry. Hi,
Hey.
Haiti. Happy Memorial Day.
Hello, Haiti.
Hello.
Yes, happy
I'm
Memorial.
not sure what Memorial Day is. Does anyone feel like letting me know? That's terrible. I don't know my American history, but
It's okay. It's hard to know the history of every country on the planet when you do all these international calls. It's basically where it's honoring the veterans for their service as, serving in the military to protect our freedom so that we can have Zoom calls like this and be able to do everything that we do. So it's basically a time to memorialize those who've lost their lives as a result of the war and being part of our military, and honor the ones that are alive still.
It's not
great.
completely limited to just the military, though. It's basically honoring the people that have been here and the people that have passed.
okay.
So it's kind of a day of recognizing the people that have died.
Yeah. I've got a similar day. We've got a similar day in Australia. It's called something different, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, great.
Yeah. So we're going to give a couple minutes here for people to join. I know that we had a couple people who said that due to Memorial Day and due to the family obligations, they were either going to be late or they were going to miss. So we, of course, those people are excused and they're always welcome to listen to the recording, which is going to be available. I'm going to make it a point to really get this recording up in the next 24 hours. I had a little challenge, as you guys know, with technical difficulties, and thank goodness for Sean Hines. He was able to help me change some settings, and I have a backup actually downstairs. If something goes awry here, we got a backup, so we won't have the drop and all that kind of stuff. So
Nice.
But so far the connection seems pretty strong right now, so we shouldn't have that issue this time. So also, I want to give another kudos to David. Thank you for posting that poem. That was pretty cool to see that poem and to be able to read it again. And I know I shared it with a few people outside of the group, and they're like, wow, that's a pretty cool poem. So that was really neat.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that. So I'm going to go ahead and start just doing a little bit of a review as to what we've basically committed to, and I'll take it from there. I'm going to take the music all the way. I'm going to stop that for now. And so, as you guys know, this is the 90-day HeartMate consciousness experiment, and I haven't counted the number of countries, but this is a list of all the countries that we have and the people from the different states that are participating, which has been pretty exciting to see. And
Lillian,
yes?
when you hold those cards up, I can't really see them. It's like a glare.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there
Perfect.
So I'll hold it up closer to the camera. So.
Yes, that works.
Okay. So that's our experiment. These are the countries that we have, countries and then cities and states from around the US that are participating so far. I think this is a pretty complete list. If anybody who is, whether you're on the live call or watching the recording, if I missed your country or your city and state, let me know and we'll add that to the list. We don't want to be neglecting anyone. it's easier now to track now that we have the 90-day HeartMate consciousness experiment group on Facebook. It's much easier than trying to find it in the other group. So
Mhm.
that's a great suggestion. This is a list of the participants. I'm just going to flash this real quickly. I have to double check because we had people that joined not only from Facebook, but we also had people who joined from YouTube. So
Mm.
that were Dr. Joe students. So that's that. Of course, we've watched The Superhuman, The Invisible Made Visible. Of course, we are here loyal. We are committed to the weekly Zoom calls. And I want to thank you guys all because, like I said before, this is a co-creation. You guys apparently were in 5D wanting something like this. And so that's how this came, through me. I received it and I saw it like in completed form. I didn't know all the nitty gritty steps. I just saw that completed form and what the results were going to be. And then I thought, wow, I wonder, the rest is history. You guys already know what happened next. So here we are. And this is our 4th Monday, I believe. So
Mhm.
we've also committed to taking, talking to our heartmates and feeling the love. The foundational emotion is love. And then having the gratitude and the appreciation, which are the ultimate states of receivership. And that's the elevated emotion. When you take a clear intention, add an elevated emotion, you marry those two together, and then boom, in 5D, because we're no one, nobody, no thing, nowhere, no place, and no time, and we're pure consciousness, we're rearranging the particles from what they are now,
Mhm.
from particle to waveform energy, and back into new particles the way we want them, on purpose, not by default of what we have been in our familiar past, but it's intentional. And as you know, intention is an inward attention. So you guys have been amazing, I must say, at this. It's been really exciting for me to not only, guide and host this experiment, but to participate with you because I'm doing it along with you guys. So it's been really, really fun and amazing. We're also visualizing, telling our best friend, which I've been doing every day. And then I've actually, as I talk to her and, for real, I'm also playing with her because we've been playing this game of, making believe as if for years and years to manifest. So she knows how to play this game pretty well with me. So, and then we feel the swirly sensation in our heart. At first, of course, you don't feel it. But as you make believe that you feel that swirly sensation in your heart and the vibration and stuff, it's amazing how all of a sudden you're surprised. We're like, oh, I actually feel a vibration. I feel energy moving. And so, it works. If you do it, you work it, it works. So thank you again for committing to that. And then, of course, because the consciousness experiment makes use of multisensory activities. So we're telling. So now we're speaking it with our mouth, we're feeling it as we speak it, but we also have the vibration of how it feels when we say it, and then we're hearing ourselves say it out loud. And then programming water, which you're never going to look at water the same because you're going to realize quickly that you can not only do this for the heartmates, for love, you're going to add to that love vibration. You're going to go ahead and you're going to add the vibration of, let's say, for example, today I was having the thought, I'm like, okay, after we're done with the 90-day HeartMate experiment, we'll probably repeat it. And I thought I could do a 90-day money manifestation consciousness experiment because those are easy. Again, it's the same vibration of love. All you have to do is a feeling of affluence and abundance and prosperity. And I've done this before, and it's amazing how well this works. Just, again, this is just another element, programming water. So you guys have been great with that. The forgiveness visualization. We did the golden frame technique, as you know. We also had on your own, you did the burning of the sheet. So I'm really curious to see those of you who didn't do it, weren't able to do it for whatever reason last Monday, who are catching up with us this week, who have, to report back and let us know how that went. I think all of us, and I can pretty much categorically say, every human being I know who's ever done this, whether they've done this in the consciousness experiment or they've done it outside of it as a separate, whether it's a one-on-one guided session that I've done with private clients and so forth, we quickly begin to realize how we have different levels of resistance, and how just the resistance to that paper burning shows you the resistance because of the energy. Because when you do a plain piece of paper, it burns pretty quick. So, and it doesn't make sense that it would be that difficult to keep a paper lit. Like I had to relight mine over and over to get it to burn. And so that is, and I've done sheets of paper where I crumpled up the paper and burned it. And I've also done an entire journal. There's a process that we call, it's something I do with my private clients that's called an autobiometamosis. And what you do is basically you take a composition notebook. This is from my heart. It's like my journal from my heart made experience, but basically a composition notebook like this. And you begin to write from the earliest memory that you have. And it's like chronological, anything good, bad, everything. You write everything in this journal all the way to the last minute as you're writing. And if you recall things that happened before that you weren't in chronological order, then you just write them there. When you're done with that, then you go and you burn that journal. And again, this is all paper, there's no plastic. And this is really hard to burn too. But it shows you the resistance of not wanting to let go of certain hurts, past memories, past things that don't serve you. There's a lot of different levels of recognition. And so it is, all of it is as it should be. The way each and every one of us has responded has been perfect. The divine knows. This is an individual, nobody knows what you wrote on your paper. Nobody knows any of your, you and the divine are the only one who's been through every single experience. And what you felt, what you thought, what you heard, what you perceived, what you misperceived, whatever deceptions there were, there's only you and your consciousness and the divine that knows. And so it really is perfect. However it unfolds for you is exactly what needs to be for you. So I think that's pretty awesome. So we also took note of what we feel as we burn that paper, what we felt, and what we realized, what we found. It's like, those revelations come up and you're like, oh, wow. And so, I know for myself, and I know for a lot of you, the whole self-forgiveness. Sometimes it's easier to forgive somebody else than it is to forgive yourself. And you might still be unconsciously beating yourself up for things that you think, I should have known better. I should have paid attention to the red flags. I'm aware of the red flags. Why did I ignore them? Why didn't I take sooner action? Why didn't I handle this with more grace? Why didn't I? And it's like, it's your ego. We now know especially from doing all the different meditations and being so well trained by Dr. Joe, we know how our ego just loves to jab us, get under our ribs, just really upset us and keep that familiar of frustration, familiar addiction to those emotions of frustration, anger, resentment, shame, guilt, unworthiness, not enoughness, yada, yada, yada. Anything that is not loving and unconditionally accepting, that offers you grace, is your ego. So as we realize, oh, wow, I did all that work to forgive A, B, C, D, E, F, G person. I really have to forgive myself. And so once you come to that realization, you're like, you know what? When you know better, you do better. The same grace that you gave those other people, you need to give it to yourself, because you're not going to be able to really complete that cycle of forgiveness until you're able to fully accept, receive, and embrace forgiveness for yourself, which is the most loving thing that you can do. And then once you do that, you let it go, and then you feel It's amazing how you feel so much lighter. And now you know that you also completed the forgiveness cycle that you needed to do for anyone and everybody, any organization, any group of people, however that might look for you, any experience. It's done. It's dissolved. And now that big rock that you didn't even realize was a big rock, because for me, I didn't realize how big that rock was. Okay, confession. Let's call it a boulder. Let's call it for what it was. That big boulder that I had that was weighing me down. So the neat thing is that as you do this, you've heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together. So make no mistakes. This heart mate that you are creating in 5D that we know exists, on this planet, that is being brought, it's being drawn to you. You're magnetizing yourself. They're doing this work also, because you're not going to attract somebody that's at a low or lower vibrational state. You're going to attract someone who's at that same vibrational state, somebody who is conscious enough to do this type of work. So now you guys come in tabula rasa, clean, where you have wisdom. You don't have baggage that you're lugging around, where it's not, four of you. It's not you with your baggage, them with their baggage, all showing up. No, now you're like, no, I left that's in the past. The only thing that I have now, I've distilled it, like when they refine gold, just the purest gold, and then the dross, everything else is thrown away. So you've thrown all that away. And now that you have these tools, you can move forward going, okay, I know that I'm not perfect. There'll be things that will come up in the future, but now I know how to handle it, how to clean it up. I know how to handle myself, and I know how to hold the frame and the safe space for my beloved, so that we can do this together. We can, there isn't anything that we can't move through, and just love, be that unconditional love with unconditional communication and unconditional truth. And so the next thing is our water programming and the results from our water programming. So I think now would be a great time for us to talk about, have there been any other insights about the programming of water, or did you have any feelings or experiences or serendipity around the water that you can connect to the programming of water? The first person to raise their hand, I will just give that person a chance to start, and then we'll just make sure that everybody gets a chance to speak. All right, David, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Well, with the water thing, well, it rained here again. So I really like this idea of harvesting the rain. And I was working, and I didn't have my stainless steel pans out, but I thought, well, I missed it. But when I came home, I put them out, and I was able to harvest probably 3/4 of a gallon of water. And I don't know, it's just feels special to do that, which is something I had never done. And I really like the idea. And in my mind, I think, my heart might have touched this water somewhere. I mean, who knows? It's like, where's it been? Where did it go? And so I like that. And that you mentioned that you can manifest money. I was thinking the same thing. You can manifest anything you want if you put your heart to it and manifest. And so anyway.
Yeah.
I like the concept.
Yeah, and it's true. And we're made of mostly, about 80%, 70 to 80% water. And that water, every drop of water that has ever existed on the planet is always recycled through, from the ocean to the rivers, to the lakes, to human beings, through the plants. That water is recycled over and over and purified over and over and over through the process of it evaporating, going up into the, into the clouds, and then it comes back in through human beings, through plants, through food, through everything. And so, yeah, and that's kind of another way of evidencing how we are all one with the one, and we are the one, how we all come from the same place, because we're all mostly water. And so that water, the cells of your heartmate are probably, they're already inside of you. There's molecules of your heartmate, which is, I think, part of how you are able to recognize a heartmate. You know, it's their vibrational frequency, it's your consciousness being aware. And so there's so many different layers as you start to.
We had the full moon.
Yes,
so,
on Thursday.
Which affects the tides, and I often wondered how much effect that actually has on the body, since we are so much percentage of water. And so anyway, it was all good.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And, you know, I can speak from personal experience as far as the full moon is concerned and how it affects the human body. When I was a first responder, I worked for a private ambulance company and for a hospital. And we would always, I remember the very first time it was a full moon for my shift, how the nurses, the doctors, the paramedics, everybody, they're like, oh, it's going to be interesting today because, you know, it's a full moon, or tomorrow is going to be it's like, watch out everybody, because tomorrow is a full moon. So we know that all the crazies come in, the most bizarre things that you're like, what was this person thinking doing that? Of course it's going to, you know, it's like just the most bizarre stuff would come in during a full moon. And I got to tell you, even the staff at the hospital and at the ambulance company, they would do goofy, kooky things that just to let off steam and to balance out some of the bizarre stuff that would go on. And so it did affect, it wasn't just a folklore. It's not just suspicion. You know, we know, and we knew back then too, but that because the body is made mostly up of water, and the electrical conductivity of the water changes as the tides go up and as the moon is full, it affects the human body, which is why some people who are not balanced act erratic. And, you know, that's where we get the term lunatic from. It's people going, you know, luna is moon in Latin. And so somebody who's a lunatic is somebody who's been affected so much by the moon that they went crazy. They're just like berserk. So it can have a negative effect on some people. I think that, in my opinion, as a seasoned meditator, as you guys are all seasoned meditators too, I think that it doesn't have, the negative effects are they kind of go by the wayside. And because we're conscious of the fact that it's a new moon, or a full moon, I should say, we're able to take advantage of the positive effects of the moon because we're vibrating at a higher level. So your water is more powerfully charged when you program it during a full moon. So some people will even take their programmed water, and that's something that over the next 30 days, I'll check. I have a full moon calendar, and I'll take a look at that. And what we might want to do is, I'll give you guys whatever the date is. You can set a reminder on your phone, and you can.
I think it's June 23rd.
Okay, is it? Oh, thank you.
Next.
Yeah, because then what we would probably want to do, let me make a note of that.
It'll be the strawberry
moon. Okay, June 23rd, full moon. So what we'll probably want to do is the evening of the 23rd, when we program that water, we'll drink whatever water we have left in the bottle, refill it, program the water, and then go take it outside, leave it closed under the full moon, and the moonlight hitting that water all night long, even if it's cloudy. Even if you can't see the full moon because it's so cloudy, it doesn't matter. There is still an electromagnetic frequency coming from the moon that will positively affect the water. Then the next morning you bring it in and you're pretty much done. So yeah, that's interesting. So thank you, David. Terry or Heidi, would either of you like to is there something that you'd like to talk about in reference to the programmed water? Thank you for joining us. I think it's Audrey. Yeah, Audrey. Thank you for joining us, Audrey.
Well, I've also put my blue bottle outside in the sunlight because it purifies the water and kind of brings it back to its natural state before I drink it. And also when I'm drinking the water, I just visualize energetically, I feel it going through my whole body, like intentionally, rather than just swallowing it and going on with my business.
So you're drinking it with intention and
Mhm.
the feeling. Yeah. So that is absolutely wonderful. I do feel like when I drink my water, I feel the sensation of the water, and then I visualize it going down to the cellular and electron, proton, neutron, and the quantum level, because I want it to
Mhm.
completely, yeah. And that does make a difference. So that's awesome, Terry. Is there anything else?
No, not on that subject. A lot of things happened this week, but that's it on the water.
Okay, I'm curious to hear it all. So I think that's everybody from our regular group. Audrey, welcome to our group and on the live Zoom. Whereabouts in the world? Oh, wait a minute. Can we see? Okay. Yeah. Whereabouts in the world are you, Audrey? Oh, we can't hear you. We have to unmute. Yeah. If you could unmute yourself. Since we can't hear Audrey, if later on, if you want to just type in the chat whereabouts you're from so that we can acknowledge you. And thank you for being a part of the 90-day HeartMate consciousness experiment. The next thing we want to go over is our journal entries. It sounds like there's been some great signs, symbols, serendipity. These are the 5 things that we're measuring: synchronicities, signs and symbols, dreams, people we meet, dates, and connections. And when I say connections, sometimes you might meet somebody at the supermarket, and maybe you just have a great conversation with them, a good connection. You don't necessarily have each other's name and phone number, but you just had a really great conversation. Maybe something poignant, something uplifting was shared. So that's a good connection. So anybody who wants to start? I know you, Terry, do you want to start? I know you have a lot of synchronicities with this one. So journal entries, synchronicities.
I've noticed that I'm getting a lot more requests from men who want to friend me on Facebook. I do have a boundary though. I need to be able to see their profile, and if they only just put one picture so I just say thank you very much and just move along. But I just find it fascinating because I haven't got that many hits from men probably in the whole year as I have in this last 2 weeks. And I have been meeting people of abundant financial wealth lately, which I'm just like, oh, I love this, like more of this, please. And then today, although it doesn't directly interact with the program of the 90-day HeartMate, but it's still pretty amazing. I have some American Indian in me, and I was able to interact with a particular animal on the island today. And it was just really profound for me to have that opportunity. It stirred something deep within me culturally. So that was really a fun thing to be able to experience. And then I also, again, it's just kind of some more personal awarenesses are coming up. Like I've been staying up late looking at videos or whatever, YouTube, whatever. And I always kind of am hard on myself, like, why aren't you going to sleep? You need your sleep. It's 11, 12, 1. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try something different. I'm going to say to myself, Terry, I approve of you. I approve of what you're doing. Oh my gosh, what a difference that changed the whole energy. I felt at peace. I went right to sleep. I slept sounder than I have in a long time. I'm like, wow, just to flip that energy of being so self-critical was amazing.
Wow.
And actually, I guess it does have something to do with the 90-day HeartMate, because if I continue to be self-critical with myself, I will draw someone else in who is self-critical. And then we'll just be self-critical with each other. I don't want to do that.
Yes. Wow. That is really fantastic. Oh my gosh, that's a big one. Whoa. Wow, that's a lot of stuff actually. So, oh my goodness. that is really fantastic. So you have more males, more men with friend requests, and then you have your criteria, which is good to have standards. And then you have more abundant and healthy, wealthy people coming into your life. And that awareness about, you know, you were wide awake and realizing that it was your self-critical aspect of you that it sounds like you automatically just let it go. And then you realized how much bigger that was than what you originally thought. And what a great gift that was to yourself. And you felt so good. Wow.
Mm-hmm. And it was interesting. I had to say, I approve of myself before I fully understood the ramifications. Once I gave myself that grace and compassion, then it was like, oh, like it was an aha moment for me.
So I love what you said. You gave yourself grace, which is a gift, grace and compassion. Isn't that what we all want?
Mm-hmm.
And when you can give that to yourself first, then you can open-heartedly give that to somebody else. Wow, that is fantastic, Terry. Great.
Thank you.
Is there anything else?
Well, I did something silly and hurt myself this week, but I'm getting well. I messed up the ligament in my top of my fibula where it goes into the kneecap, but
That sounds painful.
Yeah, but I just figure everything happens for a reason. I was supposed to slow down, you know what? Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good with it, and sent a lot of love to it. So I'm so grateful I didn't break anything. I really could have broken my wrist, my hand, my whole leg, my foot, my ankle. It was a pretty bad fall.
Wow. Okay, well, we're going to send you healing energy.
Thank you.
Restore that as quickly as possible. Okay. David, do you want to go next and tell us about your, I'm going to keep basically journal entries, your signs, symbols, synchronicity.
Well, I was going to share, things are opening up here. And so, which is, I find it pretty nice because socially, life has been pretty cramped. So anyway, this weekend, but the weekend before, I went downtown and they had this like jazz band and they closed the streets and things. And I met this lady who is an art teacher at this university here. And anyway, I just thought we had what I thought was a nice conversation. She wasn't, she was into working on her own self and the way she lived and what have you. And we had some good eye contact, which is something that I rarely seem to get with people that I meet. So anyway, we talked and the band ended. And so I walked her back to her car and she gave me a ride to her car. And so I got her number and anyway, her father had died about 3 years ago, or I mean 3 months ago, and she was going to Chicago to do some work. But anyway, I texted her the next day, and but I never heard back. So I thought, well, I guess she's not into me. I thought she might have been, but what was neat was the entire experience, which was something that I hadn't had in a long time. And then she texted several days later and said that she apologized. She thought she texted, but she forgot. And so I texted her again, but I hadn't heard from her. So It's okay. But what I liked was as far as moving towards connecting with someone, I felt like we had connected more than I had connected with anyone for a long time, other than just typical small talk type things. So that part I felt good about. And well, today, let's see. I invited my daughter over, and her boyfriend came over, and I invited a friend, and he invited a friend. So this lady came over tonight, and it's my friend's friend. But anyway, she was quite interesting as well. I mean, like, she's out there. She's actually going through a divorce, but she's an artist and she's working on all these different things. And it was just she likes to fish, and I happen to have a rather large collection of fishing poles, which I hardly ever use anymore. So I said, hey, you can have some of these poles. So anyway, it was interesting.
So that's to me, that's impressive. It's like 2 lady friends in 1 week. And one gave you a ride in her car. So obviously she felt very safe and comfortable with you. And you've texted back and forth and you had great eye contact. And this other lady as well. So holy cow. So it's showing you how your attractiveness is increasing and how your vibe is elevating to the point where you're pulling people in that normally, you know, you maybe you would have 1 in a month or 1 in 2 months, whatever the numbers are, it doesn't matter. But you have tangible evidence that you have 2 ladies that were basically really friendly and receptive towards you. So you're attracting, you're getting closer and closer. That's, you know, something may happen with one of them because all you need is one. But the point is, it may happen, maybe they'll just turn into really good friends. You know, life is very fun.
That would be great. That's what I was thinking.
You know, maybe the best friend of one of them, they may introduce you to their best friend and she may be the one. You know how it's like the 1 degree of separation or 6 degrees of separation. So it does, you don't know, and it doesn't matter. The point is you're getting signs of encouragement and showing you that you're definitely well on your way. So I think that's so exciting. So I think it's very uplifting and encouraging, not only for you, but for all of us to see and hear that.
And there was actually another connection. I played pickleball, and so I was playing pickleball Saturday morning, and this lady came up to me and she said, I'm probably older than you. She says, but I would really like to play pickleball with you. So I said, oh, okay, let's play. So, and she was amazingly agile and very good. So anyway, that was interesting as well.
Oh my gosh, I gotta say, you hit a home run. 3 ladies in a week? Oh my gosh, David, you're a rock star. We gotta clap for him. Oh my gosh, where's my, oh, I have it downstairs. I'm gonna have to get my that was easy button. Holy cow, I'm impressed. So good for you. No, oh, play it, Terry, play it, play it.
That was easy.
Yes, that was easy. So that's really wonderful. I love hearing that. Is there anything else that you wanted to share?
Well, actually, I wrote another poem.
Oh, you, okay. Please read the poem.
This is called A Night in May. So, a night in May, the most beautiful month of the year, some say. The flower moon is in full bloom. I must believe. Flash, boom, is that the moon? Not quite sure. The calendar says it's so. The sky lights up, the thunder claps. Emotional release, drenching, soaking, quenching. Could be anger, could be fear, could be sadness, could be grief. Is it happiness? Is it joy? It is definitely a release. To me, it feels like a thief. Was the bar too high? Expectations did not fly. I wanted to ride the beams, feel the energy, maybe scream, catch a memory with the screen. Wait, a gift for me, thunderstorms in May, a miracle at play, just like the acorn in the oak tree. Gratefulness sets me free. Being present is the key. I must believe, even if I cannot see, the flower moon did not leave. May, the most beautiful month of the year.
Wow, wow, wow. So you're definitely channeling in and receiving divine inspiration. My goodness, we've only done this for 4 weeks. And you have had 2 poems that you've had, you know, come through and flow through you. So that's really remarkable.
Well, it amazes me. I've never done it, and I don't know that they're that wonderful, but it's kind of neat to feel that energy and be able to sit down and actually put the words together.
Well, I think it's beautiful. I really, really like it. And I'm really enjoying hearing those. So thank you so much. And I hope that you continue to get that divine inspiration and that we'll hear more in the weeks to come. No pressure though. If it's just those two, that's fine. We don't want to, push you to that, but that's really beautiful. So
Thank you.
Absolutely.
awesome. Let's see. Haiti, I don't know if you want to try again now. Maybe the connection's a little bit better.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Mm.
Oh, you can. Yeah, it cut out a couple of times before, so I wasn't sure if it was where it was at, the connection issue. But so you can hear me. Yeah, I've as far as an update, I haven't been a great student this week. I haven't been programming my water so vigilantly and things like that, but I've sent myself some text messages from my phone to my work phone, or the other way around, from my work phone to my phone, which has been nice to get some messages from my heartmate, so to speak, or from me to him. And so that's been nice. I haven't had major sort of coincidences or anything, I must say, this week, but probably as a follow-on from last week, if you remember my update, I think it was my cat there sneezing. I think some resistance was coming up. Might have been my update from last week, just from like burning the paper. And so I was wondering if as well that was part of me not being as committed this week as well, if there was resistance. So I decided I was sort of looking into that and noticing what that was about. And yeah, I did sort of, it was really interesting anyway, but like I went salsa dancing last Saturday, I think it was. I'm not a very good dancer at all. I just would love to learn anyway. So I went out with a friend who's really good, and I did notice what came up for me every time, like I was approached by a male, there was resistance as well. I'm almost embarrassed to say, but I feel like from a young age, I've had probably said to myself that, men only want me for one thing. I don't mean to be rude or disrespectful, but it has caused some resistance for what, when I'm approached as well from men. So all I did was notice that come up and then dance anyway, and found that I had a really great time, and then gave myself a hard time for thinking those thoughts. Really not too much of a hard time, but and then there was some other resistance around, what was it? Oh, that's right. Because I Woodford Thomas, I think it is, anyway, calling in the one. So, but she talks a lot about letting go and like conscious uncoupling and that sort of thing. And I suppose what I realised this week as well was that, like, my ex of 7 years, that's a long time, 7 years we've been separated. I left him, but we're quite good friends. We share a son, blah, blah, blah. But I think there's still some, not letting go from the heart space, but there's still some old stuff going on there where I'm like attached to his opinion of me, and like I seek out approval from him, like all of this stuff I'm really embarrassed about, to be honest. But yeah, it's come up this week. It's probably come up before, but I've been quite conscious of it this week. And I've like, you have to let go of some old stuff before you can let some new stuff in. So I suppose it's good to have recognition this week of the burning of the paper, which was, you can't actually be happy in a relationship, which is so sad and clearly going to cause resistance as well in terms of moving towards that true choice that I want.
So yeah.
So it's sort of been like, which has helped cause the transformation. Please feel free.
Yeah. So
has it cut out? Can people not hear me?
It just did for a little bit, and then it came right back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Please feel free to, Lillian, because I know I spoke for a long time.
No, it wasn't long at all. And it's perfect because these things are coming up so that you're aware that these things need to be released. And you already know what the forgiveness experiment, not forgiveness experiment, exercise. It was the forgiveness exercise that we did. You know, you can magic frame that again now with the greater awareness of the things that you have, and repeat that. If you feel that you have to do another paper where you're adding things to that paper, it doesn't have to be the same verbiage that we did the first time, because you could go ahead and,
Yeah.
I don't remember if you were one of the ones who, because I think you kept the little corner, if I'm not mistaken, for yours.
Yeah, it was like hard to let go. And it was like I was holding on maybe to stuff, which
So, I
was
mean,
the resistance starting to.
so you can go ahead and burn that separately. There's nothing to keep you. It doesn't matter that it wasn't at that time. You can say, and I
Yeah.
burned this last little bit with the intention of letting 100% of this go. I'm not going to hold on to anything. And
Yeah.
and today we're going to be doing, I'm really big on non-disclosure emotional release exercises. This is a neurosomatic exercise where you're going to be able to keep all the good stuff and let go of things that don't serve you, but you don't have to say what those
Oh, great.
to anyone. We can do it. You know, I've done it with a group of, I think,
Oh, awesome.
35 people.
Yeah.
Or, you know, because nobody will know except you. And so part of, I'm really big on doing, always respecting and maintaining the dignity and the privacy of each individual person. Because the truth of the matter is your subconscious, even you don't know everything. Because there are things that we bury in our subconscious because they're just too uncomfortable. And so as a protection mechanism, our subconscious files it away in a storage cabinet where it's really difficult to get a hold of, so that you don't remember, sometimes because it's too painful. And so your subconscious knows exactly what's required to heal you. It has record of everything.
Yeah.
So if you remember in the magic frame, we were writing that we were, you know, these are the things that I'm going to let go. And we don't even really know what the experience is necessarily of what it is that we're letting go or what we're retaining. But our subconscious mind, as we neurosomatically, as you just make believe that you're writing on that magic frame, your subconscious mind knows exactly. So it'll know to pull this out, throw this away, let go of this, not keep the emotional, energetic body filed in your meat suit. It'll let it go because we did that process. So the same with this process that we call it the gray room exercise, you'll be able to, you know, part of this consciousness experiment is, again, it's a consciousness experiment. So we're using the conscious mind and we're tapping into the subconscious mind to let go of the, because we want to be all cleaned up and pretty and happy and healthy and handsome in all regards of our life when we, as we're attracting this mate, and we want them to be in that place too, where they're going to come, again, tabula rasa, as high vibrational as possible in this lifetime. So there's no need for any of us to beat up ourselves. It's our habit. We have become very familiar because of conditioning, not only from the family, teachers, society. Heck, we even have cartoons and we have all sorts of things that you would not even think of that are programming you to be self-critical and to be judgmental and hard on yourself. And because you're a woman or because you're a man, because doesn't matter. So the point is, we're conscious now. We're like, as the things come up, we're like, oh, that doesn't, oh, wait a minute, that doesn't feel good. And that is my ego. I'll let that go. Change. And then you can let it go. And so these are big ahas, because not everybody goes through life being aware, oh, I have a resistance. And there is, I will say, especially since I love to dance too. And, you know, you can say to guys very playfully, because right now you're like, you're not attached to anyone. You can say, listen, I came here to dance tonight. You might have 3 guys or 5 guys sitting in a booth or next to each other, because sometimes they, you know how sometimes they go in groups. You can say, listen, you guys are obviously here to dance. I'm here to dance. You all want to have a good time. I want to have a good time. None of you are going to have sex with me tonight, but all of us can dance. So I'm going to go one by one by one. I will dance with each one of you. I'll dance with you first. And as soon as this dance is over, then the next one. And that way we all leave here tonight having danced at least one dance. Now, the benefit to you is that you get to dance with 5 guys. And the benefit is to them that they get to leave saying, I danced at least with one girl. Because sometimes those guys go to those places to dance, and all night long, they don't dance with anybody. So now they'll all leave happy going, wow, you know, she danced with each and every one of us. And while they have your undivided attention, needless to say, they're going to want to, you know, get your attention and make sure that they one up the previous guy. But that doesn't matter. The point is, you're from a place of confidence. You're not resisting any of them. You don't plan on ever going out with them. If one of them strikes your fancy, that's different. But really, you're there to dance, have a great time, and you're fun and you're vivacious. And you're like, okay, I'm here to dance. You're here to dance. You're first, you're second, you're third, you're fourth, you're fifth. Let's go. Boom. And then you're off to the races and you're dancing. And now it's like, you know what? Yeah, you know, they're going to say, oh, what a breath of fresh air you are. I wish more women were like you. I'm like, you know what? I came here to dance tonight. And so, and I know you guys wouldn't be at a dance place if you're here to meet girls and you want to dance. I'm like, I'm not going to sleep with any of you guys, but I can definitely dance with all of you guys. So let's dance. And so just be light about it. And then you leave there going, okay, that felt great. You could do that ad infinitum. There isn't any reason why you can't dance with every guy.
Yeah, and I did dance, so it's all good. I'm just, I suppose, sharing my experience of what came up for me at the time, and so yeah, so that was good. And just to finish on a positive note, I noticed that there was all this blah blah resistance. I also got sick with a cold sore and like I've been to the doctor today, just viral whatever stuff going on. I haven't got corona, but yeah, so stuff is going on anyway. And I just wanted to end on a positive, that clear that, you know, I, even regardless of that, I'm still really trying to be conscious about choosing what I want. So even noticing that, oh yeah, I've got a belief that I can't be myself, I can't speak up my needs without being punished, I can't blah blah blah, all the stuff, that I still, you know, am trying to make a conscious effort to make a new choice, basically, because that's run the show subconsciously for a long time. But if I become conscious and just say, well, you know what, like, it's possible, you know, I'm going to choose to have a partner and a partnership that I can speak up my needs without, you know, being punished, and you know, that I want that for them as well, and that I want a relationship within which we can both grow and basically be healed because of noticing when we're triggered by each other, perhaps, but then owning it that it's our own stuff, and even being able to possibly, you know, share that with my partner is what I'd really love, is that, oh, I really noticed how I was triggered when you said blah blah, you probably didn't mean anything about me, but that's what came up for me at that time. So, and then, you know, so I'm really clear about what I want, and I suppose I just did want to end that, even though I've had this week where I've been like, whoa, you think really bad stuff, which clearly has kept you separate from people for a long time. And I have to do some healing about my ex, which I'm going to work out how to do at some stage. But then I've still been quite conscious about what it is that I do want. And I suppose that's the benefit of noticing the resistance, is noticing that that's what I've believed for a long time, unconsciously. So now it's time to make a conscious choice. So that has been positive. So yeah.
Those are huge revelations and recognitions and realizations. So yeah, bravo to you as well. So I'm excited for your progress too. Everybody's progressing, and these are, you know, some again, I can't emphasize how oftentimes people go an entire lifetime, and they'll, you know, they may be 70 or 80 years old before they finally realize this. The fact that we're having these revelations and realizations, you know, in real time as we're doing this is really, really profound. And so, and you know what to do. And so it's, I think that's really fantastic. So bravo to you. And I love the fact that you also choose to end on a positive note. And you see, it's like, okay, I also see the positive aspect of this. It's like, yeah, I can choose to really allow myself to want what I want and honor myself. And that's really a loving thing for you to do for you. So
yeah, well, clearly previously I've never chosen something else. So, you know, I've only been led by the subconscious, which has had some pretty negative stuff going on. So That's been good. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, yes, yes. We already know the things that we're measuring. We reviewed our water programming, as well as our results, our journal entries and so forth. So I'm going to move on to the next thing. And we already talked about the text messaging, our HeartMate, which is the one activity that we added last week. And let me see if you guys can see this okay here. So we've been text messaging our HeartMate at least once a day. I will confess I didn't text every day. I probably text either 4 or 5 out of the 7 days. There are a few days that I didn't feel like it, so I didn't. So, and one day I just completely forgot. And the next day I realized as I went to go text, I'm like, oh, I forgot to text yesterday. So I guess by default, I didn't feel like it. I'm not quite sure about that, but I'm just telling you, that's my report. So that's that. So we're going to move on to our gray room exercise. So I want you to sit down and be comfortable. And this doesn't take very long. And what you're going to do is we're going to start off by, you're going to tension all your muscles. You're going to strong fists and tension your butt muscles, your leg muscles, your feet, flex them up, and even your cheeks and your chin and your jaw and your scalp. And then you're just going to relax, let go, and have your arms either on the arms of your armchair or on each knee, and just completely relax. And I want you to take a slow, deep breath. You're going to inhale, hold at the top, and slowly exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Continue to inhale and exhale at this rate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold that inhale. And exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, you're going to see 10 steps, black in color, that are wide. And you're going to, starting with your left foot, you're going to take a step. And with each step that you take, you're going to be feeling that you're more relaxed in a deeper theta state of being, from the very top of your head down to your tippy toes. So starting with your left foot, left, right, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, deeper and deeper with every breath that you take, with every beat of your heart, drifting, dreaming, dripping, dropping, sliding, gliding, deep down, diving, down, 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 down. Now in a moment, not yet, but in just a moment, you'll notice there's a white door in front of you with the silver handle. And on top of that room, it says the gray room in gray silvery color. And you're going to, with your dominant hand, reach out, open that door to the gray room. And as you step into the gray room, you notice that the gray room is a dome-shaped room. And there are hundreds, maybe thousands of yellow Post-it notes posted everywhere, from floor to ceiling, in front, behind you, to the left of you, to the right of you. It surrounds all of you. And you notice that those golden yellow Post-it notes are all the wonderful, pleasant memories and experiences that you've had throughout your lifetime. from the moment of conception until this very last word that I speak. And as you see what you see, you hear what you hear, smell what you smell, taste what you taste, feel what you feel, you notice that there's a few post-it notes that are red in color. And you know that those post-it notes that are red in color represent those things that are less than positive, less than good feeling experiences and things that either you've done or someone else has done to you. And so you are going to now walk over to those red post-it notes. And I want you to walk up to those post-it notes, and immediately you are going to tear that post-it note off the wall. Take the first one down. And as you take that first one down, you're going to tear it up. And you're going to grab that post-it note and you are going to throw it in that pit of fire that is right in the center of the room, and watch it resolve and dissolve into nothingness. And you're going to reach over to that next one and you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to take it off the side of the wall. You're going to tear it up. And the same thing, you're going to crumple it up and throw it in the fire pit that is right in front of you. Now take your time. You just have a few more left. It doesn't matter what the note says. You don't have to recall the memory. You don't have to recall the experience. No reason to go back and relive the past. You know that you know. So just grab the next one, tear it off the side of the wall and tear it up. And however many there are, you just throw them whoosh, into the fire. Watch it resolve and dissolve instantly. No resistance. It's gone. It was and no longer is. There is no attachment to you. It is now just pure distilled knowledge and wisdom, and the rest is in the past with no emotional charge. So as you continue to keep your eyes closed, I want you to raise your right hand when all the red papers have been peeled off the edge of the dome and you've torn each one up and thrown it into the pit of fire. Peel, peel, peel. Watch it dissolve and resolve. Peel, peel, peel. Tear up. Whoosh into the fire. Watch it resolve and dissolve. Peel, peel, peel. Tear it up. Whoosh. Watch it resolve and dissolve into the pit of fire. Peel, peel, peel. Watch it resolve and dissolve. Whoosh. Into the pit of fire. Peel, peel, peel. One last time. Those of you who have already completed, please raise your right hand to let me know that you've got it all. If anyone is not done, please let me know you're not done. Okay, keep on peeling and revealing. Go ahead, keep on revealing and peeling it off the side of the wall. Keep going and going. Take your time. Tear it off the side of the wall. Into the fire. Into the fire. resolved and dissolved into the pit of the fire. Peel it off the wall. Dissolved in the fire pit, in the pit of fire. If you are done, let me know by raising your hand. Into the pit of fire, resolved and dissolved. Into the pit of fire. If you need more time, raise your hand. Resolved and dissolved into the pit of fire. Okay. Does anyone need more time? Okay. So when I count back from 3 to 1, you will be wide awake. You'll be feeling 3 times better, 3 times stronger, 3 times lighter. 2, because you too know that this has been your divine birthright. And 1, open your eyes. You're one with the one. You are wonderful. And you are awake. Okay. So that is the gray room exercise. How are you guys feeling? Pretty good? Okay. This is a non-disclosure method. As you know, no one had to disclose anything. You all inherently knew and could obviously very easily distinguish the good from the less than positive emotions and things that you needed to get rid of. And so next week, I want you to, after we get off the call, our next thing that we're going to be doing is the Go Love 20 meditation. And so if you have any feelings that come up or any insights that pop up, make sure you document it in your 90-day Heart-Made Consciousness Experiment journal. And then you can share, if you'd like, maybe some of the feelings that you had. You don't have to be specific as to what the experience was, but you can share as much or as little as you'd like next Monday. Okay. So that takes care of the gray room exercise. The activity that we are going to, there's actually two parts of this next activity that we're going to do. And every day, this should be easy. When you go to brush your teeth every day, I want you to do mirror work. And you're just going to look in the mirror, look at yourself in the eye, and you're going to look at your left eye in the mirror, because your left eye is tied to the right side of your brain. Your left eye is your personal side. Your right eye is your public side. So as you focus on your left eye and you look in the mirror, you're tapping into your heart, and you're going to be going, I love you. And so every day you get ready to brush your teeth and just look at yourself in your personal eye, your left eye, and you're going to go, I love you, and put a big smile and mean it. Just say, I love you. And then after you do that, as you start to brush your teeth, just ask yourself, am I aware? Am I aware? That's it. Am I aware? And as you do that, you're going to notice that you're aware. You're going to notice the temperature of the water. You're going to be aware of the temperature of the water. You'll be aware of the pressure of the water. You'll be aware of the sensation of the bristles of the brush as you brush your teeth. You're going to become aware of whatever you become aware of. So just the simple question, am I aware? Now, I'm going to only share with you the things that I've done for myself that works when I've done any of these things. So what I do in order to remember to do this every day is I take a lipstick or an eyeliner. And I know that men don't have lipstick and eyeliner. So what I'm going to tell you to do is go to the 99-cent store, go to the makeup session. It doesn't matter what lipstick you pick or what eyeliner you pick. They're 99 cents. So take your pick, whether you like a fat lipstick or whether you like, you know, a black or a brown pen. It doesn't matter. It's 99 cents. You're going to grab that and you're going to write on your mirror in your bathroom. So you'll see the reminder that says, you'll see mirror work, I love you daily. You'll go, oh, that's right, I'm brushing my teeth. And then under that, you're going to write, am I aware? And you'll see it every morning. You won't be able to miss it. That's it. And then you're going to notice if you want to kick it up a notch for this consciousness experiment, just saying, I am aware every morning is a game changer. If you remember to do it throughout the day, then just by you saying, am I aware, that expands your consciousness so that you're not just limited to your own body. You start to become aware of other things. So that's why we are doing this as part of this consciousness experiment, because it's one of the fundamental things to do to expand your consciousness aside from meditation. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to do the Go Love 20 meditation. So just give me a moment.
Eyes closed. Take a breath. For love. Into your heart. And exhale. And relax. Into your heart. Feel it. Notice it. Your heart. And breathe a little love into your heart. And exhale. And relax. Into your heart. And breathe in for love. Into your heart. And exhale. And relax. And let a little more love into your heart. And breathe for love into your heart. And exhale. And relax. And let love into your heart. And let the thought of someone you love bring up the feeling of love. In your heart. Feel it. Hold them in that feeling. In your heart. Hold them in your heart. Feel it. Now put their heart in your heart. And feel your love for them in your heart. That's your love you're giving them in their heart. Feel it. That's energy in your heart. That's energy in their heart. That's your energy in their heart. That's love. Your love. In their heart. That's love. In your heart. Feel it. Experience it. Enjoy it. That's the love you want them to feel. In their heart. Feel it. In your heart. Feel your connection to them. In your heart. One heart. That's love. In one heart. Feel it. And become one. In your heart. That's love. Your love for their heart. That's your love. In your heart. Feel it. In your heart. That's energy. In your heart. That's a little more oneness. In your heart. That's your connection. To love. In your heart. That's the feeling. You want people you love to feel in their heart. And remember, this feeling know it by heart. That's life in your heart. Who do you want to be when you open your eyes? In your heart. Feel it. With your heart. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the realm of space and time. Remember, there's love in your heart.
That was an awesome meditation. Okay, so you guys, I will post in the Facebook group our assignment for this week. And thank you for joining me today in the 90-day HeartMate consciousness experiment. So exciting to see and hear and experience all these revelations and all these neat signs, symbols, and serendipity and realizations. And I do want to make a note moving forward. Anytime we have a long weekend like we did today, like the 4th of July, I know we have Father's Day, but that's on a Sunday. So the 4th of July, I believe, it's a long weekend. So for that one, we will move our session from Monday to a Tuesday night. But other than that, I just wanted to thank you guys for tuning in, tapping in, and turning on today. And we will see you next Monday and on the Facebook group. Okay? Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Lillian.
Lily, thank you.
Lillian.
Love you.